Good afternoon to you and welcome to your favorite dial. Of course, this is Voice of the People, 96.1 FM here in the capital city of Abuja. 2:32 on the clock right now, in case you're wondering who's talking. Anyway, my name is Simeon Sunday and you are welcome to what we call the Interweave Self-Reliance Half Hour, and this show is actually brought to you by Interweave Solutions International. And of course, we got some representatives from Interweave right here in the studio, and basically for the next 30 minutes we'll be talking about every solution that Interweave comes to prefer to Nigerians, especially all level of Nigerians, whether you're a market woman or whether you are an akara seller or whether you're a pepper seller or whether you're a that artisan on the road who goes out on a daily basis to earn your urgent 2K. So Interweave Solution, we're talking about all their packages or what they have for you and how you can be a part of this amazing program. Anyway, let me quickly take out time to introduce my guest right here in the studio. Joining me is the executive director and of course the country director of Interweave Solution. In case you don't know, let me tell you that Interweave Solution is an international organization, and of course they have a country rep here in Nigeria, and of course it is headed by Dr. Exodus Esukwibo. Good morning, good afternoon to you, Dr. Exodus. Great to have you in the studio today.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good to see you again. It's been a pretty long time, the last time I saw you.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to be here today.
Okay, of course. Also, we have, Ambassador Austin Ohosa, who I hope I didn't scatter the name. He's the producer of the show as well. Good afternoon to you, Ambassador Austin.
A very good afternoon and a happy Valentine's Day.
Okay, it's Valentine, of course. So I believe Interweave actually has something for us, especially this special day of Valentine, since it's a season of love and spreading love. So quickly, let me start with Dr. Exodus, who is the country director for Interweave Solutions. Let's talk about Interweave for a bit. What is Interweave all about? What do you do at Interweave?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, at Interweave, we are an organization that has looked inward into best ways we can be able to fight poverty. We know government at all levels are doing the same thing. We are trying to see how they can fight poverty and move our people out of poverty. And Interweave Solutions have started this program in Nigeria in the year 2013. We started working on the ground and locating people in the informal economy, training them and giving them a certification known as the Master of Business in the Street. What is it all about? The mission is to move people out of poverty into prosperity. That is our mission, but we will have a plan on how this can be done, and that is why we do this through neighborhood self-reliance groups.
Okay, good to know. You mentioned something which is very critical to our conversation this afternoon. You mentioned that Interweave Solutions basically look at the informal sector. By the informal sector, what do you mean by that? To a layman who might not understand what informal mean?
Yeah, we look at all those business enterprises or small scale business enterprises that have to do with those that are in the rural communities, in the semi-urban or rural urban areas, people who are artisans, people who are market women, people who are young men, young women going into one small business or the other. So these are the set of people that actually make up the informal sector.
Okay, so basically what Interweave Solution does is cater to the needs of these people in this particular sector.
Yeah, what we do is to see how we can equip them with the principles that will make them become more successful in the business they do. Virtually no business started so big at once. A business starts from a particular location, and why we give her that certificate is that this business that is started from a street, and so the certificate is tailored towards that business you are doing in that particular street.
Okay, if I may ask this particular question, in fact, let me, direct this to Ambassador Austin. On this particular one, the question is, why the informal sector? we know that when it comes to business, most people do not really pay attention to the informal sector because, you know, even though they contribute largely to the economy of the country, because the informal sector is that woman on the street that roasts corn, the man who is there as a bricklayer, the artisan who does POP. So people really don't pay attention to the business structure of these people. Rather, they will want to pay attention to to businesses that have already built structures for themselves. So why is Interweave Solution basically trying to look into the sector that most people really do not pay attention to?
Well, you already know that we live in a society where people are being looked down upon. The mechanic, the tailor, the akara seller, even the so-called Meruwa that carry water along the road and sell water or bring water to the elites or the bourgeois. These people, they are the people that are running the economy, but they are being looked down upon. Nobody really regard them, and they feel inferior when they stand in society. They can't even talk. They don't have value, especially when they look at their background. They feel like they are not certified. They don't have the paperwork. They don't have the qualification, and so they are treated shabbily. They are being disdained, as it were. Interweave said, no, these people they have value. They are human beings. They have something they are contributing to society on a daily basis. Let's raise their value. Let's give them some meaning. So they came back and said, fine, you guys, we are going to take care of you guys. This time you have qualification. We are going to train you. You will also be a graduate. After all, graduate is a graduate.
Well, anyhow you graduate, you're a graduate.
Okay.
Even if it's a 3 months course,
of course.
And you graduate,
so
you're a graduate.
who told you as an akara seller you cannot be certified? So Interweave said, look, don't worry. In that your akara you are selling, we want to make the best of you. We want you to become the best akara seller in any place you sell the akara, so that your akara becomes a reference point to any other kind of akara.
Please, you guys shouldn't make akara golden akara.
I just
to the point that
I'm just giving that as an example.
You know, for those of us who buy 15 naira akara, because these days you buy just one little akara 15 naira. When they get certification, they tell you that, oh, we are now certificate holders, so we want to increase it to 250.
Simon, let me tell you something. let me tell you something quickly. Do you know that there are some things you will see in some people's skill you can't do without them. It's all akara is not the same.
Very
all
true.
Mechanics are not the same. All tailors are not the same. The reason is that it is the knowledge they have acquired, the skill they know about how to do it better that makes them different. So Interweave said there is a skill, there is a way you can do it better and become outstanding. That outstanding skill is what Interweave brings to you through knowledge-based training. Within a short period of time, and you get to know those skills, how to manage your economy, how to keep your books, how to keep your records.
So akara seller will not be documenting every sale they make.
We call it paperwork.
They'll calculate how much profit they made, how much they've expended.
Fine. And you know, this is where they have problem. The banks don't look at these people. The so-called common man cannot walk to the bank and say, I need money to build my business. They will give you grammar. They will give you some big oyibo and paper. You can't even know where to start. But now it say, don't worry. Now you will know these tricks. And then the bank can look at your books and say, wow, you mean you do this? We are going to support you with 50,000. We are going to support you 1 million and all that. So we are teaching them what they would have learned in university for 4 years within a short period of time. The key to how to make profit from your business and be able to take care of yourself. That's what we are saying it's a self-reliant issue. Taking care of yourself and your family, because if you can take care of yourself and your family, then the society will also be improving. People around you will benefit, the community will be better, and then the work of government will be reduced. And of course,
pressure on the government. So where you want government to provide everything.
Anyway, we are just starting. Maybe by the time we go on, you will see that as I speak to you now, there are some persons in my street who are in this category of akara mechanic people now. They are masters holders. They have what we call the Interweave Solution from USA MBS certificate.
MBS
Master
certificate.
of Business in the Street.
Oh, Master of Business on the Street.
Yes.
So it's called MBS certificate.
Exactly.
So basically what Interweave Solution International is here to provide to those in the informal sector is actually certify them and make them understand basically a school for the informal sector. So now talking about the school, how do you take them through the process? Do you go and start teaching them ABC? Do you teach them how to write? Because most of the people in the informal sector, let me not generalize, but some do not really know how to write. And so how do you take them through the course of the training?
Well, what we normally do is that the training is designed in such a way that even if you are not educated, you can actually understand these principles that we are teaching. And we try as much as possible to bring it down to that level where everybody will participate. It's a very interactive kind of training where what you are doing is what we try to make you understand more on how to get it done better. Now, most of the persons, like for instance, we had someone we trained in Akwanga about last year ago. This woman could not even speak English, but you see what she did, because she's interested in passing through this training. She even had to bring an interpreter to sit by her and help interpret what we are teaching. At the end of the day, she graduated. She was so excited because it is the only certificate she had ever earned in her life. Wow. So she made a party of that graduation.
Wow.
And so this is what we try to do. We know that most of the persons in the informal economy cannot read and write. So we try to make sure our ambassadors all over break down this training to the level they will understand. And surprisingly, even though they cannot read and write, they are very intelligent. Some of us are from family backgrounds where your parents never even actually went to in the school, but you see them doing well in the business they do. Maybe they are into farming, they are still doing well, they're able to send us to school. So it doesn't mean that because they've not gone to school, then they don't have all it takes for them to understand principles of business more. So we do that at all levels.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You know, this is a question based on what you just said right now. You mentioned something about your ambassadors. Yes. Please, can you clarify on that? Ambassadors, teachers who actually train, this people in the informal sector.
Yeah, sure. In Nigeria, thank God, currently we have over 2,000 ambassadors scattered all over the country.
In Nigeria?
In Nigeria.
So Interweave Solution, I understand it's a group that people actually are part of, members as well. How many members do you guys have at Interweave Solution, especially here in Nigeria?
As of today, we are 62,000 MBS graduates in Nigeria. And this 62,000, actually this figure has made Nigeria the #1 on the global map of Interweave of over 80 countries.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Nigeria, Interweave Solution Nigeria is number one
on the global chart.
Wow. How did you guys achieve such feats? Interweave Solution Nigeria. Is it because of the numbers?
No. You see, the truth of the matter is this: it started all with one man. Started with me. For instance, in 2013, I came across Interweave. I took the course online, and then after being certified as an MBS graduate, I also now took the Success Ambassador training, which is like a trainer. Okay. But you are given a designated position known as Success Ambassador, because your duty is to go and see how you can move people out of poverty. So we give you that position. Now I did that and then started the training gradually. First, I was able to locate some persons who have the same vision of how we can work towards getting our people out of poverty. They also passed through the training. They had to do that with me, teaching them face to face. So at the end of the day, they were certified. And gradually, it started moving from here in Abuja, started spreading to states like Ondo, to state like Ekiti, how do you call it, Cross River State currently, and then it has spread to most parts of Nigeria, Sokoto, Gombe.
For you to mention Akwanga is Nasarawa here.
Nasarawa State. So that is how we've been growing gradually, targeting people in some organizations, NGOs, training their members, training members in churches, in some religious settings. We started training gradually, and today we have been able to hit that mark.
Wow.
And that
so Interweave Solution Nigeria, especially, I know it's an international body. Yes. It started in the United States of America.
Yes, sure.
Correct, if I'm not wrong.
You're very correct.
And of course, now for the Nigerian office, it started with just you.
Yes.
And that's why you're even the country director.
Yes.
And with you now, you've replicated the knowledge you've gotten from Interweave International to about 68,000 people, 62,000.
Yes.
How did you achieve this in just a space of 11 years? You said from 2013, right?
2013, yeah.
In 11 years. How did you do this?
Simple. You see, we discovered that most of the persons that are, let's say for instance in some churches, I even have one of my pastor who is here with me as well. He was the one that the thing actually blew up from his church. Because
so pastor too now students.
Imams are part of it.
Okay, so pastor now is students. Even with your degree in theology and all, you still had to go to get the masters of business in the streets.
We have retired generals that are students.
Yes.
Wow.
Professors are part of it.
So you see, most persons who have been in one public service or so, they surprisingly, when they come for the training, they discover their mistakes. We have some retired federal directors who are students, and they start recalling the mistakes they've made in life. And it's affecting.
When you talk about the mistakes, are you talking about their life generally, or when it comes to their business?
You see, most to their business. Most of them had opportunities of starting a business, but they never focused on that. Now at retirement age, they now see that they need to fall back on something. They don't have it. So they now understand these principles, and a lot of them are doing very well. Why we've grown so well is that the principle we've been teaching, people have come to implement it in their lives and see it work. So when they see it work, they tell another person, come for this training. The training is basically almost free to pass through it. You don't need to spend as high as what we spend in some business schools, and it's very unique. You can just sit and take this training without having to go through rigors of passing through processes in a school. So that has made the training grow so far. And sincerely, I want to give kudos to most of the pastors and so that were in the mix. We discovered that in most of their settings, they have welfare units, but the challenge they have is that members are facing this problem of how to become self-reliant. They depend on arms, and so Interweave now came with a plan where you have to pass through a particular training. After passing through that training, it now gives the organization a focus of how well to help. We need to know how to help, and that was why the founder of Interweave wrote a book called Giving Can Hurt. There's a way you give and you hurt the person yourself. So you need to give in a way that would help the person grow.
Okay, so basically with all we are saying, Interweave Solution, what they're doing here in Nigeria is actually they've created a business school. Basically a business school for informal business school for people to come learn the principles of self-reliance, how you can sustain your business, whatever business you're doing, how you can grow it and be self-sufficient, right?
Yes.
Okay, and now with this, I know a lot of the question most Nigerians or people listening to me right now is, we've been hearing business school. When it comes to school, we know that schools are very expensive. You have to pay certain money, you pay tuition fee, you pay all of this. So with Interweave Solution, how do they go about becoming a part of this initiative, going through the process?
First, let me quickly just mention that Interweave Solution major focus is taking people from poverty to prosperity. That's the idea. That's all that they are pushing. How can you leave this poverty? Poverty is a problem in most developing countries, Nigeria in particular. We don't need to overstress that. That cannot be overemphasized. So the strategy to get out of that, those intrigues, the techniques, the skill you need in an informal approach is what Interweave is bringing to us. So you could be part of it very simply by just showing interest. Are you interested? Once you say you are interested, the platform is there. Because most of the things we have done, there are widows that have been trained, some people, orphanage homes, people who have no means of even paying the school fee. They are on scholarship. I attended the scholarship program under the platform of our current director. We're sitting right here. I'm a beneficiary of.
You got into Interweave
through scholarship. Oh yes.
I think Dr. Exodus, you need to revoke his scholarship. Austin should be able to pay his school fees.
So what he did to me, I'm doing to others.
Okay, so you're now giving people scholarship as well.
Of course. So what we are talking about is how to improve your services, how you can make gain, how you can advance and become self-reliant. We look at countries like China and other some countries where people, the private sector drives the economy. The government's job is to provide an enabling environment. Now Interweave says, government, we are helping you to provide enabling human being. So you don't need to stress yourself. Partner with us. Interweave partners. It's not only about the MBS program. The Interweave program, I want to call it CIS. Counseling in the street, which is a program aimed at setting up community leaders, groups that will help to get the skill on how to deal with mental problems. People that have emotional breakdown. In Nigeria, that somebody can be very sweet, but he's sick inside. There are some people who are actually coloing, but they are suited. With their, so And you see when you see crime, you see vices, you see disturbance all over, it's because there is something wrong in the inside. There are people who are trained on community-based interweave solution to address these issues, more like mental health expert or consultant. Yes, they give counsel on how to help these people to become better. And many people are being revived. As I speak to you now, many people are being resuscitated and being rebuilt from just mere wisdom and knowledge that people got to counsel and advise these people. So to be part of Interweave Solution, straight to the question, is that you show interest. You can be part of this program by face-to-face arrangement. You can contact the Interweave office. The Interweave office Nigeria is right here in Abuja at ShopRite. At Beggar, is it Beggar? Very close.
Okay, the shop right by Wadata Plaza.
Exactly.
Okay, the PDP secretary.
Yeah, so you can walk in there and say, I want to become a part of this. You can be advised. We have their staffs there on ground to address your issue. Then also you can also log in online and then find out how you can also be a part of it on the online platform. But you know the problem with that online now. You know data don't go there, money not there to go. So we said, don't worry, we can handle that. All over Nigeria, in the 36 states, Interweave is spread around. You can contact sources ambassadors. We have country directors. State directors who you can also contact, and even among them, you can anywhere you just go, everywhere. Interweave is everywhere right now. So we are infiltrating every segment. Okay. The military, the military men are part of this training. Police, the common man, the educated, even the unemployed, graduates. My brother, if you go to school, you carry power powder, you not get work. What is the use? And if you, some people who are even trained, so to speak, with due respect to our certification, some of them, they don't know the wherewithal on how to handle business. This is what Interweave tried to tell us. So you can be part of it anywhere you want to become it. You can even make a phone call, and
someone will okay, so let's get through the process, especially for those who want to understand the initiative. For those who want to reach out to Interweave Solution is located where, please?
It's located at Novare Central Mall, first floor, office 105H. All right, once you get there, you'll meet any of the security officers and tell them you want to go to the office of Interweave. Okay. They will simply direct you on how to locate. We have our Nigerian technical assistant, and we also have the central office manager. They are always available to attend to any of our inquiries. And then we also have you can even call me directly. You can contact any of the ambassadors available. Then you can also go online and just Google www.interweavesolutions.org/Nigeria, and you'll see all the Nigerian ambassadors. Most of them are there with their contacts. Just click on anyone and call based on your location. Okay. And they will attend to you. Okay,
so basically, Interweave Solution Nigeria is located at 105H. Okay, the first floor. The shop right, the Novare Mall, close to PDP Secretariat.
That's correct.
That's Wadata Plaza.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get the number. So for those who might not have the time to find your office, and they just want to quickly call and make inquiries on what Interweave is all about and how they can be a part of the initiative. What's the number to call quickly, Austin?
Well, the number let
me give my number directly.
Okay, I have. So you can reach out to the country director
directly.
In other words, you're talking to the number one man in Nigeria. Yes, so in fact, I think it's a privilege. Yes. I don't even have your number directly, Dr. Exodus. All right. But still, so it's a great one.
All right. The numbers are 070 31